All right, so this video right here, I'm just gonna touch on another where I stand with the Nutbwallers video, and obviously, just some really unexpected, crazy things that just happened in that everyone group chat today. And obviously, I know why it's happened. Let me be real specific about that. It's just one of those days, man. Let's just be honest with that. First, I know I started it, and it's not just today. It was just as I said it in the everyone group chat earlier. The moment I tried to stop what a boss was saying about Dewey, and I mean, I don't know what's going on. Russ is getting concerned and all that. That I put this. Well, it was my responsibility that I brought the negative energy to the group, and it was not just today. It was just not even yesterday, not even only yesterday, but just all week and even last weekend. It's clear to me that all these guys have seen me in beast mode, and for sure that's gonna play a part. That not that I'm gonna say anything that is very similar to the group text incident from last year. Obviously, I'm not gonna go back to that. But the fact of the matter is, the moment that Carlos made that comment, or to say that I was to stop being a whiny little bee, huh, it's got to that point where even the boss went out and said, "No, you are the only bitch. The only B is you, Carlos." And then Carlos was like, "Screw you, a boss, LOL." And a boss, I try to stop those guys by saying that Jesse was the real B, you know. And I try to put a stop by saying, "Hey, a boss, not Carlos, you meant Jesse." Because I know what Jesse did to a boss, and even to me, and and Chris, Carlos. That's the real B, not Carlos himself. Look, I know he's gotten pretty annoyed, and I get that, and just next thing, and then next thing you know, what just happened like in the afternoon. Just I mean, things started to simmer down, and then next thing you know, like, I saw that Dewey responded to my group text saying, "Hey, it's normal to feel stressed, this and that. We're here to support you." And a boss chimed in saying, "Effing P." Effing PUSSY is what a boss told Dewey. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Even to the point where Russ said, what did he say there? He said it's like, "Hey man, we're a team here. What's going on? Knock it off, guys." And I was like, and then I talked to Dewey on the phone, and he said it was actually related to the favor that he asked for a boss, and obviously it was like a money favor, and that's when a boss just got irritated and told Dewey, effing what, what I'm saying. Head. I was like, damn, a boss is on fire today, dude. What's going on with him? So I want to talk to a boss when I had a chance to, but boy, everything just got crazy, dude. And I know he had to work today. I guess he was not in the mood, and he wanted to go to the baseball game, and he ended up having to work. I guess he wasn't feeling it in that mood, and so it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, to be honest, if my life was all good, and if I didn't have run across any of these issues, ongoing issues that limited my outdoor freedom, I definitely would have gone, for sure. But either way, I wasn't able to go. So, I mean, I got to talk to a boss about what was going on. So, between him and Carlos, and then between him and Dewey. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with him. That's one of my best friends, and I gotta talk it out with him because I've known him since junior high. So I hope we could just work things out, and hopefully things will settle between him and both Carlos and Dewey. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't want to think to say that the group is already falling apart. I know I've said it in the heat of the moment that I feel like this group is gonna fall apart. And look, I'm gonna say this. I feel like a lot of what's happened today is just off of a burden of my responsibility as to why this happened. A lot of what I said, that's a lot of negativity, negative vibes, negative energy. Next thing you know, when it's all silent, next thing you know, a boss one goes off like that. Start with Carlos and then with Dewey. I know what Dewey asked him for, but I think the real problem here is I think a boss got really, it's almost to say like a boss wanted to really be on my side after, what I just said here. And it's almost like, I mean, I wasn't really trying to play any favorites here, I wasn't trying to be specific. Yeah, I know the boss is my best friend, this and that, but I mean, I wasn't really trying to lure any of what I said to just specifically anyone there. I know I said that about Russ coming back, like, hey, since he Russ again, and all that. But no, I wasn't trying to get to that. And somehow, some way, I think a boss perceived all of my negative energy as, hey, these other guys are enabling all this poor behavior. I remember Julio made that comment, was it sometime last year? And, just a little over a month after the group text incident, when he said, hey, the people that you hang out with are using you. I don't know if he's referring to some of the guys I hang out with as far as like, the non-Nutbwaller friends. I would assume so. Because if that's the case, I would definitely agree. And in this matter here, like the negative energy, the beast mode moments, everything that I said there, it might have made a boss think that guys like Carlos, guys like Dewey, have enabled this my beast mode behavior. Just like, or is it maybe just based on a lot of what I lashed out on to guys like Dewey and Carlos, And I know a boss is cool with those guys, okay? I mean, just not that long ago, didn't a boss and Carlos actually talk? And, a boss asked Carlos about going to a baseball game, which is, I mean, it would have been today, but he had to work. And then, and then with Dewey, I think at one point, I think they just both hung out or something. But that was like, I don't know if it was just earlier this year or sometime last year, but, so I don't see if that a boss has any beef with those guys. But this topic really isn't about a boss. I think it's just about, I think that myself as a Nutbwallers leader, I think that my negative energy and a lot of what I said has really just brought out some of the unexpected these unexpected happenings. And I put this I put this group on my shoulders because I am the Nutbwallers leader. At the end of the day, I'm the engine of that team. I'm the founder of the Nutbwallers group. And I know it hasn't really been that much of the case, as of, since I came back, and obviously after the group text incident, because it all went downhill. And then especially what I did towards the end of January. So I kind of see a little bit of tension in the group, but for the most part, I think, you know, I just, as bad as everything is getting here in my home life, I just don't want this to be the next thing, because I know what I've already gone through, and I just came back, and had I not done what I did, I'm pretty sure that, I would still, everything would have still been fine for me as far as my home life is concerned. That I wouldn't have felt the anxiety that I felt, that caused me to have like an all-time high on average of mistakes that I made last month and whatnot. So, I mean, had I known what I did, had I known to not do it, then I think things will still be fine. And I'm sure Robbie would not have. Well, actually, sorry, that was after the group text incident. But I'm talking about like towards January. Had I not done any of what I've done, I think who knows how things were gonna go. But ultimately, if it wasn't for that group text incident, I think everything would have been fine. We still would have been able to celebrate Julio's birthday. Hell, even Carlos's birthday, or what have you. And then everything would have been fine from there. Things would still be normal as is. Who knows how much longer I would have been in beast mode. I probably would have still lashed out at Russ and Duy like I did last year. And, and then, who knows, it might get somewhere that that might get worse, and suddenly I started, doing what I did and getting the help that I need, So, I mean, at some point, even if the group text did not happen, the group text incident did not happen, something else might have happened that might really, cause me to think the same. Seeing the group fall apart because of what I said in the group text incident, and, but I don't know about doing what I did, but we'll just have to see. So I put this group on my shoulders, and, I did what I did. I know what I caused. I don't want to think that Abbas and Carlos all of a sudden have beef, and same with him and Duy. So, I just hope. I mean, that's why I want to talk to him. And if it's not today, then hopefully I just get all this solved. I know that weekends have not really been what they've been, and I know today is just, it's like with what I'm dealing with in my outside life. It's just never ending, and to see my entire family just really stressed out, and obviously I really hated what I saw earlier this evening, and they just cannot get enough sleep. I myself cannot get enough sleep, and I gotta do what I gotta do if I really want to break out. But and now to see where this group is at, it's like, I gotta be careful with what I say now. I gotta be careful. So that being said, we'll just have to see what happens, and I know I still gotta take care of my own business. So all right, once again, let me know what you all think, man, because it's just too much already. Too much was happening in my home life, and for the Nutbwallers, it's just, I don't know. Like, I mean, I still do see a future where this group is gonna function strong, just like before. But we'll just never know. All right, so yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and I'm sure everything will be fine, but ultimately, with my life, it's not fine. The Nutbwallers group, it will be fine, but it's clear to me I can't really see myself in that, being part of it, even though Russ and Dewey are back, and the whole group is complete again. I just have a hard time trying to give myself a feel that I am back, because now what's happened at home, and in my home life, I mean, and that's just what it is. So anyways, let me know what you all think. So y'all have a nice rest of your evening, and that's from me. Tired as ever. Even when I wake up, I'm tired as ever. But this is the life I gotta deal with still. So I gotta figure something out. That's that. So I need God on my side at this point. Bye.